Welcome to Our Energy Matters with Anthony Manna and Dena Marie. Aloha.
Aloha, here we are. I say to Guten Tag, good day to all our German-speaking viewers out there. And also, the next one isn't so easy. Dobra dzień, dobra seche, spokój. That is good day, good life, and peace to our Polish viewers and listeners. And here we are. This is our 50th episode. Hard to believe, I know. Hard to believe. 50 times we've done this, and the energy never stops coming. And it's what I should tell folks is that what I do is I go each week. Where is it? Come over here. Get over here. Every week I go into Dena Marie's book. I'll recite the title in just a little bit with those beautiful crystals. And why crystals was what I asked myself when I first saw this. So those of you out there who see this for the first time may wonder what crystals have to do with it all. And so what I do then is I parade through her book and I find my way to illuminations, and then I write a small piece. And I guess I could probably go right now into it if you want me to. Folks, Dena Marie and I are celebrating our 50th episode of Our Energy Matters. Drum roll, trumpet call, hip, hip, hooray, say the crowds. When my friend, colleague, and mentor, Dena Marie, wrote the glorious sanctuary of her book with the prophetic title, Our Energy Matters, the Art of Crystal Reading. Aha, there are the crystals. She added another title. Promising her alert spirit seekers like me to enter the book's spiritual and psychic domain. And this is the other subtitle, to learn how to manifest their heartfelt intentions. Dena Marie, right now, if you could pause and tell me, why is it so important for a person like me to make a heartfelt intention clear and obvious to the eye and mind?
Wow. I love when you interview me because this is good. How? I love it because you're helping me. Now I'm going up to my higher chakras thinking, okay, how does that work? And we were talking about the intentions, knowing what you want. You go to a restaurant, you order your dinner, you kind of wait for the universe or the waiter, I'd say the universe, to serve it up to you with your intuition, but you're in the present moment, right? So you're in the present moment, your intuition talks to you. That's your throat chakra. So we got crown, brow, throat, heart. Heart is the altar. This is where we leave our intangible world and move down into the physical world. So when you want something bad enough, you can feel it, you'll act on it. So the lower chakras are getting on the dance floor, physically eating the food. The sacral is enjoying that company with another person while you're eating. And the root chakra is finishing your meal and going home. That's how the chakras work. If you have a blocked heart chakra, normally you're a victim, or if it's blocked, you could be also a very hairy heartless, right? So there's things that are really important about the heart chakra. It is the altar, intangibles to the tangible world. And if I practice self-care, self-love, and I act on, sometimes we were talking about being writers, and self-love was when I gave my book to someone else and they didn't like it. And I thought it wasn't very good, but, and then, 99% of the other people loved it, but I took that to heart, and that could block my heart over time if I listen to people like that. They're the hairy heartlesses and they're bullies. So heart opening has to do with the balance of giving and receiving.
Absolutely. Wow. I'm so happy you recorded that, because I want to go back and listen to it, because I'm dealing, when you're talking about the critic, we just talked about that in our phone conversation, that I'm dealing as a writer with those voices that can very easily detract you from your purpose, from your intention. So when I sit down in the morning to meditate and I say, my intention today is to be a faithful writer, to be an honest writer, you know what I mean? And it could be that, it could be to be more loving to my son, it could go on and on, but I think the heartfelt intention gives you the illumination of the day. and opens you up to possibility. And it's so, it offers a lot of energy.
But I think too, we were talking about doing nothing. So sometimes you have an intention to write and your voice says, today, just be. Go to your garden, go do something you really enjoy. And in the middle of being playful and having fun, spirit comes through, and what you would have sat down for an hour and tried to write comes through while you're gardening. And then you maybe talk to your partner, or you write it down real quick on a piece of paper. But I use talk to text. If I get an aha moment, because I'll lose it, so I'll just say it really, really quick. So, the phone technology is good for you, but to write it down and then continue gardening. And then you can go inside and look at it and go, that was easy. The easy button.
That can sometimes happen. And it's very, it's what we live for. It's heartfelt. It's cleansing. I mean, I don't know if I should be using that word there, but that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm divesting myself of distraction, and the book that I'm reading now, Fearless Writing, is about, if you're going to start playing with critics when you're actually in the middle of a creative act, I don't care whether you're a dancer or a writer or a weaver, whatever it is, you're going to run into trouble, and I truly believe that, because I did that for years, because in a way, teachers trained me to be constantly alert to criticism, and I don't want to do that. I just want to simply be in that place. That's not saying I don't want to be honest with myself. I mean, if I know something that I'm writing is not going in the right direction and I'm forcing it, I got to lay back and go back into the garden.
And that's why, and I enjoyed my time as a hypnotherapist, because I got to go into people's heads and hear what they were saying to themselves. And there's 10 different things someone says, right, to themselves. I'm dumb, I'm stupid, whatever. If we go back to 5, we go back to school, it's one teacher that told me I could not sing. I could not sing out loud until I was 40 years old. And that's when I was doing my hypnotherapy. I realized I listened, and he turned out to be not a very good man. He did some bad things to some of my classmates. I found out in the news years later, he wasn't a good man. He was telling me I couldn't sing, but his intentions weren't pure. So if I can go back and say, that's my teacher, that's my parent, my mom used to, my grandpa called me on thunder thighs, thunder thighs. And then he started doing it to my daughters too. And they put a stop to it because I taught them to have self-esteem. But he was saying it playfully, but I've had the most horrific leg issues, right? So we can just take those voices, say thank you, but no thank you, have spirit talk to us. So the quieter our mind is, you're inspired. And when you're inspired, it's the universe winking at you. And then you'll get those synchronicities. You act on what spirit gives you. And then what you thought was going to take 2 years happens in 2 weeks, But if we have those inner voices talking trash to us, about us, it's like self-sabotaging.
That's exactly what it is. And it's it blocks you in the moment, And so, but it's been so to be thinking in this way as I proceed, let's say, to the writing, and to stop, to take that breath. And I hope everyone's listening to this, because it doesn't matter whether you're a great cook in the kitchen, or you're in your garden growing, or you're writing, or getting ready to choreograph something. You've got to let go, And what did we read? We said that piece that you want me to read on your show tomorrow. I'd like to read it now, because I think it's very appropriate. It says, it's from a Buddhist, I think it's a Buddhist monk by the name of Tilopa. He writes, or she writes, let go of what has passed. Let go of what may come. Let go of what is happening now. Don't try to figure anything out. Don't try to make anything happen. Relax right now and rest.
That's synchronicity. That's when in spirit can come through to you, guide you, and it's playful and it's fun. So if you're enjoying yourself, if you're doing something playful that you like to do, spirit can get through. Those pictures where the angels are like this and they're kind of bored behind the lady? Yeah. So she looks really sad, like she's missing her boyfriend. I don't know what but she doesn't look happy, right? And so when you're in that lower chakra like just woe is me. They're up there trying like, hello, we're trying to call you, but you've got to look up. You've got to do something that lifts your spirits. And sure enough, then you get the phone call and it is God, but it's some person calling you saying, I have this position for you. How would you like to travel the world and get paid? It's like, okay.
That's something. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, and I lost my paper because I started doing research on synchronicity, realizing that I really wanted to come from some place of, you know, of sensitivity as to what it is. And I'm going to find it for the show tomorrow, because what you were just saying now is reiterated in so many different ways, you know. And what we just read now about remaining open so that you can receive was all over the place. And I was so delighted to hear it, because as I said to you, one of the slogans of the Buddha was to rest in the openness of mind. You know, and what Norman Fisher does in his book, when he's talking about that, he says, why do we always have to judge everything and know the answers to everything? Why can't we just simply exist in those moments, in those precious moments, you know? Now, and to some people, I'm sure to some executive out there who's listening to this will probably say, that's a lot of BS. If I didn't get on the phone today and do my stuff, you know, I understand that, you know. I mean, you know, just like you, I also had to produce. I was an academic. I was in a university. I had to write, you know, do all that stuff. But at the same time, I knew when it was time to stop and listen. And I'm even getting better at it now. Well, of course, why wouldn't I? I'm retired. I'm living.
You're re-inspired. I changed it. Re-inspired.
Thank you. It's sometimes it feels that way, you know. But yeah, I think we're on the right track, you know, as far as synchronicity goes. When I thought, well, as I wrote to you, I said, I really don't know very much about it, but I'm realizing that I know more about it than I thought, because it is a matter of it's almost like being in the right place at the right time. And what you said before about God, what I read was, as you feel as though when you come to kind of synchronicity, you feel as though something divine is watching over you.
And you know, the beauty of it is your synchronicity, because we had such a lovely pre-interview before you were on the show. And, you know, it was 2 years ago, and my boy's like, God, wouldn't it be fun to just visit with him once a week for an hour? I don't even know why, but that wasn't me. That was inspired. I was inspired, and I was doing it during my walk, you know, in the woods. And then I acted on it. And then you bought my book in the meantime. And, you know, it was so playful to see. Now you can see through time. That's why maybe we have time to see how when you listen to spirit, the most amazing things happen. I started music festivals. I've done these things that God told me to do. And everyone's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know, but spirit's on my side and I'm going to go for it. And it turns out to basically keep music alive for kids, which over 10 years, I can see how it changed their lives for the better. Yeah. Inspiration, you know, inspired. And like you said, breathe, you know, we have to start getting reconnected to our source so that we can make better decisions.
Well, that's why the chakras are so important. And I'm speaking from a person who's learning, you know, I mean, I always say that about that spirit world that you've created so beautifully in your book, you know, and I always tell people that that you really come to the book, but go, you know, you can read through it, but also flip to the back cover, because that's the chakra cheat sheet, you know, where you have the healthiness, in a sense, of what the chakras are all about, going from the root to the crown. But you like to go from the crown to the root, you know, and I like that about you. And then on this side over here are the blockages. You know, what am I doing to prevent myself from living fully and well and healthfully?
And I put crystals on it, 7 rocks, you pick them, and we crayons too. You do 7 crayons in the 64 colors and match it and see the one that's blocked. But you can also say, today my favorite color right now is purple. Isn't that funny? And that's what I chose to wear. Yeah. Probably right now I'm not liking orange because I've been around a lot of people. But today I'm going to be with my family. not outdoors people. I'm going to be with my tribe, which is your orange chakra. It's the people closest to you. So my prescription is to go see my grandkids. You know, that's going to help my orange chakra expand and be more healthier. But I've been working so much, right? Yeah. So it's time for me to go hang out with my kids. I'm excited.
That's so important. And I think that over and over again, that I'm finding more and more about crystals, their importance, and the fact that, and I wrote that in my writing today, but we didn't get to it, but that's okay. We can move on. The subtitle here, which when I first read it, I thought, what is she talking about? Place crystals on corresponding colors. But see, then you did my crystal reading with me. And it was like opening a window and letting the sun come in, you know, or as I sit here and I gaze out past this Christ statue that I have against a tree, beyond into the 8 acres of woods out there. It's like that. It's like opening the way to a kind of salvation this moment now, you know, rather than thinking, well, I'm going to be saved when I die. You know, if I'm really a good person, I'll make it to purgatory. Oh, God forbid. And then and then to heaven, whatever, folks. Anyway, this is our 50th, and it's been wonderful. And so I say to everyone, if you want to move closer to Dena Marie's wisdom, then listen to her weekly radio show, and do it tomorrow because I'm one of the guests. It's called Lift Your Spirits, and I mean it does that. Musicians, philosophers, writers, poets, they all come there, and they lift your spirits. That's 11:50 a.m. KKNW. But if you go to her website, which I suggest, denamarie.com, then you'll find the link to her radio program. It's 8 a.m. on Fridays on the West Coast. She is also very active on Facebook, daily chakra insight into chakra energy, blockage, and prescription. What are blockages? Ooh, we have to do that again because they keep coming up. And I always say to myself, where am I blocked today? What am I doing to prevent myself from being happy? Let's put it that way. Jeez, it's so simple.
Or you can say ease. There's dis-ease when your energy isn't flowing, and there's ease. Don't you like the word ease? I like the word.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. In the morning, sometimes when I'm meditating, it's like kind of let me ease into the presence of the day, mindfully, with compassion and goodwill. And you know, it's I understand what you just said. So anyway, and my website for interview with Dena Marie is anthonymanabooks.com. And if you go to my website, to the media section called Podbean Podcasts, you'll see my interview with Dena Marie and with a lot of writers, poets, authors. And also you'll see a lot of information about reading and writing with young children, very young children, tweens and teens. And that was my career before I retired. Anyway, Dena Marie.
Be inspired.
Be inspired. Absolutely. Okay, let me go on that with the intention of the rest of the day to be inspired. Okay. Yeah. All right. I will see you tomorrow.
Yep. I look forward to it. Thank you, Anthony Manna.
Thank you, Dena Marie. See you then. Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.